Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This shir is entitled Why They Hate Us, Anti-Semitism Part 2. We mentioned in the first shir that the hatred is quite rampant today around the world. Everyone can't wait to recognize a Palestinian state, even as that state is linked with Hamas, which calls on for the destruction of the Jewish state. Somehow that doesn't bother anyone. I think Europe is more than happy and proud to join in on the bandwagon of announcing Palestinian state. We fight against Gaza as they go ahead and send rockets to us, and all the world does is just condemn us. It's quite obvious anti-Semitism. The question is why. We offer the simple possibility that everyone's just jealous. Any society that we land in, we seem to be productive. And they're jealous, but of course this answer falls way short. There's other communities, other people that have been successful in their endeavors, but it's nowhere close to this level of hatred. So the obvious answer seems to be Aisav Sonai Yaakov. That's a famous Chazal. Aisav, it's halacha, it's just a reality that Aisav hates us, and that's just the way it is. Why is it? Oh, the Gemara doesn't state over there. But maybe there is a place where it's stated. The Gemara in Shabbat states that why is it called Sinai? Shemisham Yardah Sinah L'olam. Sinai went out to the world at Sinai. So then maybe we can have a little bit of understanding that why is there such hatred? That from the time of Har Sinai, and at Sinai already, once God chose us as his special nation, as the chosen nation, as his Am Segulah, from that point on, there was just a jealousy, not of our accomplishments necessarily, but of the fact that we are the chosen son. And like any sibling rivalry where one child senses and feels that the other one is the special chosen child, he's the favorite, they just can't take it. And here too. So it seems to be a plausible answer. Just one very important point needs to be added on. And I think sometimes we talk about explaining to the world hasbara and making clear our position to the goyim, the justice of the position. UN does the inquiry another time, something which they don't do any other time around the world like they do towards us. You'll say once they come up and they see we really did everything we can to protect, quote, innocent civilians. So then they should come out with a report, the glowing report, wow, that we are the most ethical army in the world. We don't see that. Why? So the answer, I think we have to go a step further. That it's not simply Aisav Sonai Yaakov, and not simply Sinai has brought about sin'ah. There's one psychological point I think we have to make to have any understanding of the concept of anti-Semitism, and that is the subconscious mind. Without introducing that, I think it's hard to really understand the topic. What I mean by the subconscious mind here is that it is so deep beneath the conscious surface of the Gentile world that there's just no rational discussion. The UN can make the inquiry. They could claim that it's a rational inquiry and it's an objective inquiry. They can end up not finding anything. And you think, okay, let's discuss this. It's clear that we seem to be ethical and on the right side over here. There is not a room for rational discussion. Rational discussion is only when you're talking about two rational sides, two rational minds that can engage in a topic. In anti-Semitism, the subconscious feelings have taken over. It's deep, deep down that there is this hatred inside, and the typical anti-Semite doesn't even know it. So once that's the case, there's no rational being there to have dialogue with. So once we understand that, we could really see how it could be such an incredibly irrational force. And even you can have, supposedly the claim was in the summer that the UN had an issue with the Jews not sharing the Iron Dome with Hamas. Whether it really did happen or not is irrelevant, but such a claim wouldn't be far-fetched. Because once the human mind, the rational mind is suppressed, and there's a subconscious force of hatred taking over, unfortunately, tragically, the sky is the limit for how far the hatred can go. So we're not offering any solutions over here. Unfortunately, there's no simple solution. We're just trying to categorize. And what we're saying is that yes, Aisav Sonai Yaakov is from Amasorah, and yes, Sinai came from Sinai. There is divine love for the Jewish people, and the world just cannot accept that. And we're just ending on one point, that because of that, the hatred has gone under, meaning it is subconscious, it is not in the rational sphere, and it simply just cannot be dealt with in any kind of intellectual and rational manner. It's a bit of a depressing point, but it's just a question of trying to categorize and understand the bitter reality around that surrounds us. It's Hashem in part 3. We'll develop this a step further. Shalom.